Hey, we are live. Hi, folks.
Hi.
Hi, my friends. How are you?
Good. How are you,
Good.
Ching?
I'm good. Hi, Dione. Hi, Vivian. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Ching.
Hi, Peter.
Hello.
Yeah, so we are together today. It's a last minute thought of me to have my friends together to talk about today's breaking news. I just wanted to lay out a little bit about sort of a timeline, I guess. Last night around 10 o'clock, uh, I got I always have my CNN on, and I saw that the the Trump's close aides, tested positive in coronavirus, and then they are waiting for Donald Trump and First Lady's result. So by 1 a.m., Dion, can you please mute yourself when I'm talking? Thank you. And at 1 a.m., then the news came out. Donald Trump is positive. So, and then I stayed until 3 o'clock, watching TV. And then I got up 6:30 again. So I'm really tired. So anyway, I just want to know, how are you looking at this issue? And, it's a serious matter. Our president has coronavirus. So should we start with Dion? Dion, can you hear me? Would you like to say a few words how you feel? You have to unmute yourself. Dion.
What is that noise in the background? Is that police or fire engine or what?
Yes, that's New York City. Yes.
What?
That's New York City.
Oh.
We live also close by to fire hydrant, fire station, and hospital. So Dion, do you have any thoughts, or do you want to share with us a little bit about how you find out this news?
Well, actually, I've kind of gone beyond that news. Right now, I'm just concerned more about the election than I am about this news. What is going to happen? Is it how can it benefit Trump to have this virus going on? What do we do? Basically, what we have is 31 days before the election. So I can discuss how I feel about it. I mean, some people thought it was a hoax and stuff like that, but I'm really more interested right now in what can we do productively to make sure that Biden wins the election. I don't know if everybody's on the same page with that. Maybe they said what Biden to win. I don't know.
Do you want to respond, any of you?
I really think the timing is just too the timing of it. I think it's his scheme. I think he's not having a coronavirus. I think he's making it up. So because after last debate,
what happened?
Dion, can you mute yourself when you're not talking, please? Okay, Vivian, please. Are you there?
Oh, I think her video froze.
Oh, Vivian's video.
Oh. Yeah. She's not moving. Yeah.
Oh, she's okay. I'll text her.
Audiovisual problems,
Yeah.
Sometimes these happen.
So why don't you, gentlemen, Peter or Nick, you want to respond to Dion's or Vivian's comments, please?
Well, I was up late last night. I was writing a book review for this math book. So it's been postponed, but I told them I would have it ready by early next week. So I was working late.
By the way, sorry. By the way, I didn't really introduce what you do. I mean, so Peter is a math professor, by the way.
Yes, I was reading this book review and I was up late. It was after 1 a.m. And all of a sudden I get a text that Trump tested positive for coronavirus from somebody. And like you, I turn on the news, CNN, they all have it, live commentary on it, everything. So, it kind of ran through my head too, kind of what Vivian said. Maybe it's a clever ploy to shift media attention away from his poor debate performance to more like a sympathetic story towards him. But I also think, yeah, that would be pushing it too far. I mean, that can backfire very easily. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's what's going on. I think he really tested positive. He had these large crowds, right, at these campaign events. So basically, yeah, I mean, some people were saying that, it's like karma catching up with him because he didn't take the virus seriously at first, But yeah, the truth is, yeah, I mean, more than likely he'll recover. He'll have access to good medical care. So, I mean, not to poke fun at anyone, but I think if Boris Johnson could survive it, Donald Trump could survive it too. So, so I think he'll be back on the campaign trail.
I'm sorry, I got lost. I really think it's his scheme, because after last debate, he lost a lot of popularity.
Right.
So he basically, coronavirus is the one biggest thing like people criticize him about.
Well,
so he's basically said, okay, I catch it in a week or two. He said, oh, I recovered. Nothing happened.
I know,
I'm 74 years old.
But think of all the things that can be turned against him now. You were the one who reacted slowly to it. You were the one who didn't take wearing masks seriously months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
You made fun of it. You called it the China virus. You called it this and that, So the point is, like, it would be very weird for him to use coronavirus to push him to victory in the election conscientiously. You know what I'm saying? It would just be very weird. It would open him up for so many attacks. And the other thing in this election, I think more so than 2016, there's less undecided voters. And number two, in 2016, we were not in a recession. We didn't have any pandemic. A lot of Democrats were not happy with Hillary Clinton. Now, it's true, there are Democrats who are unhappy with Joe Biden. But I think it was more so the case with Hillary Clinton. So I think this election, he's in a very different dynamic. And, even his attacks, the way he tried to mess up with Joe Biden in that debate, it didn't really work for him. So the thing is, yeah, for him to use coronavirus to pull out of this, I think this would backfire very badly for him. So I don't think that's the case. I think people will be turned off.
I agree.
Yeah, if he tries to use coronavirus to gain votes now, the best thing he'll probably do is tell people to take it seriously, stop holding big rallies, and tell people to wear a mask and not to look down on wearing a mask. That's it.
How are you feeling, Nick? How did you find out?
It's pretty dizzying. I just had a meeting with some people online, and then I went and checked my Facebook feed and Twitter. Saw it on Twitter first that Hope Hicks had tested positive, and they were saying, oh, Donald Trump and Melania Trump are getting tested too. And then I checked back later, and then I saw just before 1 a.m. Donald Trump had tweeted that he and Melania had tested positive, and they were going to quarantine. The timing is very fishy, in my opinion.
I completely agree. I think the timing is too fishy.
Mm-hmm. Second day, right? Second day of October, and already, what I mean?
Yeah.
Is this the October surprise? People talk about that, the October surprise.
Somebody says
I
it's
mean,
because the full moon, you know.
Full
I
moon,
think,
right?
Peter, I agree with you. To use coronavirus, it's not going to work. But I think he can use it in a different ways, right? So, first scenario, he's going to be recovered very soon, and it's like that's not a big deal. I'm 74 years old. I'm recovered. You guys, it's not a big deal. So then he is going to get more sympathy or whatever. The people who don't want to wear a mask, they're going to do even more. So that way he gets more votes. On the other hand, he will be like seeing coronavirus is such a huge deal, and then he is going to be like you said, oh, this is very serious. I personally experienced it. Everybody, let's do it. Let's just take it seriously. And that way he can also get more votes.
He says he's a wartime president,
Yeah,
right?
but on that second point, why would you trust someone who takes it seriously only when he gets it?
Yeah, exactly.
Why not trust someone who took it seriously from the beginning? You know what I'm saying?
I think the first scenario is very much likely. I just don't trust him to not having this as a game.
I think if he goes with the first scenario, he recovers and he encourages people not to wear masks. He's like, you know what I'm saying?
He's like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I
think
got
that's
it. I
the
recovered.
worst move he can make, actually, because if he does that, given how many people died from it, how many people had it. I had colleagues who had it in the summer, and they wish it upon nobody. And I'm talking about healthy people in their 30s. The guy was like, just for 5 days, he did not even get out of bed. That's how bad he was. Okay, so the thing is, people, if they know of somebody who had it, you know what I'm saying? The whole thing just to say, okay, it's not that bad, you're going to get it, and you're going to recover. I don't think that's a winning strategy for him. People are going to think, okay, now you're really delusional. We should not trust you with anything.
Can I interrupt for one moment?
Of course.
It's anecdotal evidence, but I was talking to my friend Dick earlier, and we have friends that traveled to California, 78 years old. She went to visit family, and she tested positive. She had no symptoms, and she's fine. That's 78. So I think that there is a great deal more that we need to learn about this, not just referring to age. I don't think we have a lot of information. So
that's true. It's a new disease. We don't have a lot of info.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
You see, we have some response in the audience. Trumper for Yan. Hi, Dennis. How are you? Thanks for joining us. I have been saying for months that Trump was haphazard with his haphazard.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, with his COVID precautions. We have plenty of time for Trump to recover, to have a timely election. Trump will be seen as strong. Biden will lose.
I agree with everything except those last two sentences.
Same here.
Those last two, we will find out. We'll find out. Yeah.
That's up in the air. I don't think it's that cut and dry.
What's the other possible scenario?
Well, listen.
Of his scheme.
Listen.
I really think it's his scheme.
If it's a scheme, let me tell you, I have some friends, they believe in all kinds of schemes. They believe Donald Trump, with a patriotic group of Americans, he's in a battle with the deep state. And this is his plan to take down the deep state. And, he's got something in store for them. Then there's people on Zero Hedge. They had something about an EMP attack that could be coming in October.
What attack?
Electromagnetic pulse, where they knock out part of our electrical grid.
Who's going to do that?
And because parts of our grid, they need to be imported, it cannot be repaired. But let me tell you, the thing is, when you get into all these theories, you have to go with the most likely outcome. The more complex the theory is,
That's a mathematician.
the more likely it is to fail, just because of its complexity. Okay? So I think, people should, just look for the simplest response. Think of it as an Occam's razor thing. Okay? Just leave
I
it
don't
like
know.
that.
Well, I think one thing come out of good of this announcement is that I think people should be more careful. People should not gather. People should not wear mask among each other when they're meeting in close distance. Right? I think it's a warning. People say, "Oh, yeah, he got it," because I always say it is almost not possible he does not have COVID, because he doesn't believe masks. He doesn't want people with him wearing masks, and he goes on to these huge rallies, right? He wants power. He probably think a mask, is not representative. I don't know, looks ugly or uncomfortable.
Or
I mean, mask is all of those.
that's what he thinks.
Yeah. So, Dione, can you mute your thing, please? I keep hearing echoey. So that's how I feel.
I think it's a strongman tactic on his part. He's been playing that for some time. This is characteristic of authoritarians. They're like, they see themselves as almost superhuman, that nothing can happen to them, no vulnerabilities, no weaknesses, strong as steel, that kind of thing. But this definitely shows humanity, because humanity is fragile. Humanity is, vulnerable to things, for sure. I think there are just so many dimensions here. I wonder if something like this could be like, we've heard the stories, or we've seen the stories, we've watched The Grinch, we've watched A Christmas Carol, it's Scrooge, that kind of thing. Is it possible that there could be a change of heart or a change of mind in this man after an experience like that? You have to always hold out and be hopeful, never give up on anybody. And I feel that also being, part of the gang and part of the movement, as many of you are, it's like holding out, remembering even Trump's humanity in a sense. And I know that's not easy to do, because you go on Twitter right now, you have a whole bunch of memes and GIFs out there, and they're like, yeah, try injecting that Clorox right now. There's a lot of like, I told you so type of attitude out there. And there are others that are like, I don't rejoice in the suffering of another human being, no matter how horrible they behave, no matter how bad they are, because, and I know that's not easy for everybody to say. I think it's important to, have compassion. You know what? I actually saw a tweet that said, hey, think about the workers at the White House, how many times they've been exposed to Trump and his staff and all of that. If you're in a praying mood, pray for them. They have a lot to lose when it comes to something like this. When you're president of the United States, you're up there, with the 1%. You're part of like I call it like the Davos crowd, okay? The ones that go to the World Economic Forum and make decisions that affect our lives, that kind of thing. So I see this as, yes, an opportunity to learn, see what he does, what he says. It's very difficult to take him seriously though, because of all the lies that he's told. Is this a work? Is this some kind of a scam, made for TV coverage? You notice Joe Biden doesn't get as much attention right now. He tested negative, by the way, he and his wife, so that's good.
Yeah. So what is going to happen for the next debate? Do you guys predict?
Well, they were talking about changing the rules of the debate, but I think Trump tweeted that he doesn't agree to such a move. So
You think he's going to recover? It's only like
wait, what do you
30
mean?
days.
From corona
The
or
next debate is 15th.
politically?
15th.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, you think he's going to be recovered from COVID?
Yes.
I think so. I think in 2 weeks he'll be fine. I mean, it's a 10% chance, they say, because they say he has some heart issues that he had before,
Mm-hmm.
and he's overweight,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they also say his age too doesn't help him. He's 74, so basically, these three things would reduce it to like 10%. I think. I think normally it would be like what? It would be like 1%, 2%, but yeah. So.
Like, yeah, Peter, you mentioned Boris Johnson earlier. I'm like, I thought for sure. I was like, oh man, he's going to be the first major world leader.
He went on a
succumbs to this thing.
respirator, from what I remember. So
He
when he
did.
went on a respirator, I thought, man, it's going to be game over for this guy.
Yeah.
But
And what about
survived.
Bolsonaro, Brazil?
Yeah.
yeah,
Very cool.
that guy. Yeah.
Become
Yeah,
the
the
Trump of
thing
the
with
tropics.
these political leaders, they have access to healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he'll get. I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah. Plus, he bragged about his stockpile of hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying.
Doesn't My Pillow guy tout some kind of remedy or cure or something like that? You know,
Well,
It's
you
like-
know, he has access to all this alternative medicine, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, now, what is the next? What should Biden do right now? Like, he of course sent a really nice, tweet message to Donald Trump and First Lady yesterday. And Tulsi, I saw Tulsi tweeted really nicely and named all the children's names.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what, in terms of, I guess, majority of people here, I have to say we are all not Trump supporters, right? So
Wait a minute. What about your friend, your Trumper for Yang, who's not participating?
Yeah.
Obviously a Trump supporter, right?
Trump for Yan, yeah, he is a Trumper. He thinks Trump will win. Yeah, he cannot be on. I just invited him. He said he's not in the studios right now, so he said he
I
cannot.
know, but are there a number of Yang Gang people who will vote for Trump? Because I think we saw that yesterday with some of the comments. I don't know, Nick.
Where?
What do you?
Well,
What comment on my
Comments
post?
that they will vote that they were Trump supporters. Okay.
There are
Well-
some. Yeah. Go ahead, Peter.
I think a lot of the Trump supporters, or people who say they're voting for Trump who supported Yang before, I think their general thing is it's better for the progressive movement to have a Republican for the next 4 years if Yang runs in 2024. Because if Biden wins, a lot of them have a theory that Biden is going to resign or be asked to step down within the next 4 years. So Kamala Harris will take the throne. And then the Democrats, they'll have to support Kamala in 2024. So they think for the progressive movement, it's better to have 4 more years of Trump than 4 years of Biden, looking forward to 2024.
That's what I was concerned about, very concerned about, which is probably why I didn't get on the Yang Gang thing early on, because it was so progressive. And anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I have to apologize. I'm really not feeling well. And talking about this now that Biden is going to lose has gotten me, I need to take my medication.
But hold on. Who's talking about Biden losing, though? I don't understand. He's still leading in all the polls, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm going with if the Yang Gang does not vote and the Bernie, I am concerned about it.
I think they're going to come around and vote for Biden. I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
I think it's a very small minority that's going to go with Trump, and
Okay.
that's it. Yeah.
I hope you're
Well,
right. I hope
Dion,
you're right.
Dion,
Yeah.
people who are making comments on my posts. When I have one post, I have about 43 comments. Only one person is a Trumpist, so don't worry about that. I only have one person strongly support Trump, only one, against all the messages I get. Okay, so it's probably 1%, or maybe 10%. Who knows? If I have to go back to calculate how many messages, sometimes a double message, right? One person writes 2 or 3, But anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. What do you think? So Nick, what do you think? You are on top of things, and do you think our young people will not vote for Biden?
No, I don't think so. I think that the majority are going to vote Biden-Harris. You want to know why? It's because there are two things. He is in a group right now, an advisory group that's going to focus on small businesses and entrepreneurship. So that's part of Biden-Harris. Now, let's say Biden-Harris wins next month, then very good chance, better chance, right? I think it's a very good chance that Andrew Yang is in the administration. If with Trump, I believe there's a 0% chance of that happening. So the probability is much greater with Biden-Harris winning, that Yang gets in there. And also, we keep on supporting candidates that are running on what he ran on when he ran for president, and then we start building that coalition. I'm hopeful that that's how it's going to go down, and that's how Yang Gang will look at it. If you look at it, they do the math and use logic.
Do the math.
Exactly. Make America think harder. Okay?
Right.
In time, it will be proven that math is greater than MAGA. We're going to get there.
That's
Yay.
it.
We're going to get
Math
there.
is greater than MAGA. That'll
Yes.
be the inequality for the slogan of 2024.
Yes.
Yeah. Vivian, you have any more comments?
Well, I'm not very involved in Gan, but I think, I was not a big fan of Biden at the beginning. But, in order for Trump to be out, I will vote for Biden. It's just regardless whether I love Biden or not, I will vote for him just to, have Trump out.
Yeah.
He has other candidates that he ran with that he's bringing in, to his circle. I think that's really cool. I mean, I think that shows humility. That shows that, hey, I don't know everything, but I need to know what's going on right now. I need to know what's going on with technology. I need to know what's going on in the, communities in the United States. He knows that he has a lot to learn. And it sounds like he has a willingness to do that, which is very different than before. He's grown. Okay. I mean, we know that, he's older and, he's going to be like 80 years old soon, but still it's like, you look at his journey, what he's been through, it's very, it's like he's gone through a lot of grief personally.
Yeah.
Right.
He has the ability to be a consoler in chief, which you have none of that going on right now. None of that.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that he's ready. He's ready for the moment. And people are talking about cognitive ability and all that. He has a stutter, but you see the work that he's done. He's come a long way. And I think it's time for him, because right now this thing it's now or never for him. So
yeah,
the most important thing is, regardless his ability for whatever, I think he is a person with integrity, and he's a decent human being. At the end of the day, that's the most important.
Yeah, definitely. Trump before Yan has some question for us. I did not bring up earlier because we were actually having a conversation. So who wants to respond? Peter, you want to respond?
Oh, since I brought up the deep state, well, let me see now. Do you think the deep state includes the intelligence agencies? I mean, if the deep state is real, yeah, obviously you need people with access to certain informations. Do you think intelligence agencies colluded with DNC and Hillary against Trump with the dossier, etc.? That second one, anything is possible, Trump or Yang. Anything is possible. Once you start thinking of deeply rooted deep state, very behind the scenes, you could imagine almost anything. I mean, so the point is, yeah, on the right, they think it's the left pushing the deep state. The left, they blame the right for being behind the deep state. Others, like, remember with Hillary Clinton talking about Tulsi Gabbard being a Russian operative, that kind of goes to that thinking. But the thing is, like, if foreign governments infiltrate us, kind of like that show The Americans on FX years ago. I mean, we don't. The thing is, yeah, like the inner workings of the deep state. I don't know. That's something for us. It would be very hard for us to really put that together there. But what I said earlier, yeah, there are people who post stuff on these sites, and some people take it seriously. I mean, now, again, I think in every government, there's, to keep the government working in case something happens, there is a backdoor. There is a saying, the presidency will continue even if there is no president for a moment. That is true.
So do you have any thoughts, Dione? Trump before Yang said there are plenty of Republicans, liberals that support Andrew Yang. The fact that many of us are vote Trump is because we believe Trump, the better candidate over Biden, not help progressive movement.
Okay, you might be right about that. But when I was referring to helping the progressive movement, I was talking specifically about the Yang Gang, specifically Yang Gang and maybe Bernie people in blue states. Okay, so I think Trump or Yang, you're out in Idaho, right? You're somewhere more
Montana, maybe
further west than we are.
Maybe Iowa.
So I think, yeah, I mean, you can make arguments that, yeah, that maybe Trump would be better than Biden. But, I think, yeah, most of us in our blue states, we believe Biden would be better.
Dione, just jump in.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, and obviously, if you were making a great deal of money, Trump, of course, is a better candidate for you. I mean, because of the tax breaks for the wealthy, a lot of these people did exceptionally well. So I can't imagine that they're going to vote for Biden. So at any rate, and I'm so cynical, but nonetheless, thank you for listening.
Well, the thing is, there were things about Trump that attracted people in 2016. Mm-hmm. He had a very populist message. He said he was going to bring back jobs, everything. And with regard to certain foreign policy, like having a more America first strategy against China, he had some ideas there that I think a lot of people were able to agree with. Like, if you're going to offshore American jobs, close factories, and just send them abroad, it's going to hurt the American worker, right? So in that, yeah. But a lot of that, I don't know, like, did he really bring back so many jobs? Did he bring back the factories? Did he do all that? I mean, he signed some executive orders. A lot of them were overturned. So, I mean, I don't know, like in what sense would Trump be better than Biden? I'm not really sure. Yeah.
There are a couple of things. I mean, there was the stimulus and checks went out, right?
Yeah, but that was Trump and Congress agreeing to it. It was, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And only
like,
one. And only one.
Yeah,
You
it
know
was
what I
one.
mean?
And some people have been out of work since March, so all
Yeah.
they got was $1,200. So I don't really understand
Yeah.
what
That's definitely no
victory that
UBI
is.
or
Yeah.
anything. No, definitely not.
It's not
There's
UBI. It's definitely not UBI.
no way.
No, remember the U at UBI. Well, they say universal, but
Universal.
some people say unconditional, I've seen.
Unconditional.
So
Yeah.
this
I
has
like
a
that
serious
I like
condition.
Unconditional.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about some things, and I'm wondering what you think in you know, talking about Trump and some actions that he took, right? Like, let's be real. There were the PPP loans that went out. They didn't all necessarily go to the people who needed it, the small business owners and the entrepreneurs. It helped to line pockets for some cronies of his. There's a lot of nepotism and cronyism going on there. And you can look this up. There's several articles that talk about it. A lot of businesses, these small businesses that received these loans, they turned out to be churches. Protestant
Yes.
churches, Roman
I've
Catholic
read that a
churches.
lot. Yeah. Christian.
Yeah. To pay and you know, for, you know, we say settlements and stuff like that, sex abuse settlements. A lot of money is going towards that kind of stuff. So, you know, it almost sounds like and looks like a bribe. It's like, hey, remember me in November? I gave you this money. That kind of thing.
Well,
it's just very slimy.
I think he held up the first round of checks, right, just to get a signature on it. That was the story that we heard. But
advertising.
Yeah.
Showmanship, all that kind of stuff. It's like, come on. And then another thing that was done, there are different factories or businesses that their production lines were changed, right, to do certain things, you know, to produce you know, PPE and things like that. Hey, we're making masks, we're making ventilators. Okay, Kodak, you're not making film anymore, you're back in business, you're making drugs now. Things like that, you know. And I think it's a good idea that equipment like that can be produced here and made here. I think that is a good idea, but it's like a too little too late type of thing. We're not being proactive, you're being reactive right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think anyone would have reached that conclusion. Like, if all your PPE is made abroad, like, and you have this pandemic, it only makes sense, right? Like,
so what
if
do you think?
Factories close, we don't
What
get
do you
our
guys
PPE.
think? Sorry, what do you guys think about this? Just last, like a few days ago, right? The news come out about the Time had a big article about Donald Trump, you know, only paid $750,000.
When I saw that, I thought it was a typo. I thought they misprinted something. But I know, I couldn't believe it. I was like, 750? Like, what does that mean? Like,
people have been saying that for years, though. He doesn't. First of all, he made a lot of money with the his talk show, whatever that was, the game show. I mean, we've known in New York that he's been borrowing forever and ever and ever. Deutsche Bank.
Yeah.
Yes, and so no, it was not a surprise to me, not in the least bit. And if any Republican, they'll say every American has the right to take as many deductions as he possibly can, and you're stupid if you don't. So, you know, no, it was no surprise to me.
I mean, haircuts. You consider your daughter to be independent contractor.
Yeah.
You know, like
what's
all these loopholes? You know what I mean?
What kind of an example he's setting? You know, he is shameless. He has no moral.
Right.
He lies all the time. I mean, I don't understand. I really would like to sit down with a Trumperster and then just to convince me why he is a good candidate for president.
I have some friends. They like really support Trump.
Yeah.
It's not much that like they like Trump personally, but they really don't like the left kind of right. You know what I mean? Same reason, like, you know, they just don't like the left kind of things. You know, today the California, they passed a law that you see that, right? So if you have sex with underage, if the age is like, not bigger than 10 years old, then you will not be, criminalized or something. And then, in California. So I think it's people just don't like those kind of too extreme left kind of thing. It's not that they love Trump so much, So that's.
What is extreme left, though? What is extreme left? Because I'm a Democrat, but I'm not quite sure what, by comparison to the extreme right. I mean, I know I hear a lot of right people saying we're socialists. Europe is all of Europe is socialist. I find it.
That's not true.
Well, I've heard tons of people on the right say that. We don't want socialist country. And, I'm from New Orleans, and I hear from people in the South so much. I mean, that's their belief. We are a Christian nation and Europe is socialist. I mean, that's.
Europe is not socialist. Yeah.
We know that. We know that.
Else. Yeah.
Well, I know that, but I'm telling you about the people who are supporting Trump do believe that very firmly. They do.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. They have a bigger social safety net, that's true, but they're not socialist by any means.
We know that, but try to convince a die-hard Trump fan that is the case. Try.
Well, this is interesting. See, even Trump is controlling our narrative here. We're talking about Trump now. But anyway, I think I understand some of this appeal towards Trump. I think they see like someone like Trump, he would be more patriotic. But see, patriotism and nationalism, there's a fine line between them sometimes.
We know that.
Yeah. So they see like someone who's willing to fight for them no matter what. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
So basically, they think Trump has their back.
Yeah.
And the thing is about Trump, like probably the older generation, I mean, if I want to get a little bit racial here, white people, I guess.
Wait, I'm 73. I'm supposedly white, and I am in the older generation.
I know.
Actually, in the Chinese community, it's a huge gap between the parents' generation and the children. Almost all parents are like Trump supporters, and then the youngest is all Democrats.
Because he has that kind of community thing, like you stick to the local community, you stick with the clan, you know. But the problem with the world as integrated as ours, does it really work? I mean, not really. I mean, if you ask me, I think,
I want to thank some of our audiences making comments. Julie here for Yan. She said she's having a conversation kind of with Trump for Yan. so she's defending, I think, some of the stuff Trump said. Well, Trump for Yan complained about, hi, Dennis, you complain about me not bringing up your questions. I was just too busy, And then let's see, Trumper, they are all, so Julie earlier said, Trumper, they are all seem fine with you having your opinions. They are having a conversation. They just disagree with you. To me, this is all humanity and conversation.
Wait. So what is Trumper for Yang saying? Like,
Trumper for Yang said, okay, I jumped. Sorry, dear. Let's see. Trump was saying, okay, here are plenty of Republican. Ching, he said that. Ching, I told you that your people are not ready for my message, laughing out loud. I learned a long time ago to, what?
Accurately read the room.
Yeah. and he said, I will stop commenting. But can you ask her, means Dione, if that is a MAGA hat? MAGA hat she's wearing.
No, it's not. It's my signature. It is my signature red hat. And my glasses, which I use most of the time to cover up bad hair and no makeup.
Yeah, no makeup. Yeah, she doesn't
No,
have
it's
to
not a MAGA hat.
wasting. That's why she's wearing mask. Anyway, so that's what Judy said, that they're just having a conversation. It's all humanity about. And then Judy made more comment, and so you can see the comments right from your yeah. So thank you, Judy, for Yan. Thank you, Trumper, for Yan. Anyway, and then Judy said something really nice. Says, "Wait, no, here. Where I keep losing. Yeah, Judy. I can understand the sentiment she feels. To be completely candid, as a survivor of childhood sexual abuse by a family member, as well as in adulthood, Trumper's language is extremely painful to me." Thank you.
Julie, am I reading also you support Trump without question?
Judy is for Yan. Julie
here for Yang.
Yeah.
443, and I'm
Trump.
reading support Trump without question.
No, if you read the previous message, it's connected. So she said, "I'm no Biden fan, and I do not hate Trump."
I gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
443, both of the same.
Said she's stunned by a Christian's ability to support Trump without question. She's not saying that she's a Trump supporter, but I had to read that.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
And thank you, Al, for making comments. Al comes to my show a lot. Trumper is not the only one. I guess you guys are talking about,
yeah. Did you see that list of the men? They're all men who made more money from March to now, the pandemic. So Jeff Bezos was on that list. Bill Gates is on that list. Several others. Mark Zuckerberg on that list.
Oh yeah.
However, let us not forget that the three biggest industries for people who are not millionaires now are transportation, dentistry, because everyone is grinding their teeth and coming into the dentist's office with broken teeth. So they're doing quite well. Psychiatrists are doing a booming business. So, yeah.
Mental health is needed now more than ever. Everyone is going through something.
Yeah.
So, Vivian, anything to add on, please?
Not really.
All right. So, great. So what is Dione was asking how she could contribute help. There's a meeting tonight. If you want to just look at under my Facebook timeline, there's I believe there's a 9 o'clock.
Who with?
Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm going there. There, I get a lot of notifications or invitations to join, different things. And so tonight there is I'm scrolling my down. It's called Talk to Friends and Family About Joe Biden. So there is it's called Voter Teams info session. It's open to everybody who wants to join. So you can go on to my Facebook and then look at under that big, big, what do you call, post called Vote Teams Info Session 2020 Victory. They meet every Friday night, like 9 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, you can click on. I think it's probably Zoom meeting or something. Okay.
Yeah. Is anybody planning to do any phone banking before the election? And do you think it is useful?
For Biden, good question.
Because, I do not want to speak to a Trump supporter because I don't think I'd be able to handle that. But thanks, Julie. Thank you. She just listed, no, I do not support Trump. At any rate, what I'm concerned about is, first of all, Texas has closed all the early voting except one in each county and most in the Black and Hispanic areas. And, I don't want to speak to a Trump supporter, but I would love to find out if there's any way for people to contact to drive the people in these areas to drop off their votes. I mean, in other words, is there anything that I can do? Anything? And that's what I'm interested in. I want to be productive. I don't want. We can talk to her blue in the face, but it's not going to change anything.
You can sit on your street corner holding a sign, Joe Biden.
I was thinking of something with a larger reach. 131st Avenue is not going to do it.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, Dione, because I feel sometimes like what can I do? Only 30 days left or 31 days left. So I have to confess, I put so much energy for Andrew Yang and campaign. It's like that is my love, and that love affair did not go on. It's difficult for me to switch my love to another person so easily. Or like to dedicate my energy. It's not like I don't have energy. I do. So it's like I'm not, done yet. That love is not done. So but I know if we do not help Biden, and then we waste our resources. And so I do want to help. I almost every day I get text message from Biden.
Is helping Biden, and
yes,
so
he is.
Andrew is helping Biden. Why can't those who love Andrew help Biden?
Exactly.
Yeah, I do help in some way. Like I go attend a UBI march. I also help planning that event in New York City.
I'm talking about helping Biden, though, not.
I keep making. Let me finish. I keep making films about these events, Black Lives Matter, UBI March. They are all kind of against the Trump's message. They are all pro-humanity, pro-Andrew Yang's message, and equal pro-democracy, right? So I feel I am doing my work, but it's a little bit indirect. Not like I'm giving $4,000 to Biden. I'm not ready to do that. So, but still, you raise a very good question, Dione. What can we do in this left time? But by talking to you and to us just right now, I think it's also a positive influence, I would say, right?
Hope so. Yeah, I mean, I'm concerned about, Sean graduates in 2 years. If the United States is still in this kind of mess, I think I would love for him to go to get a master's degree in Europe, for God's sake. Yeah, I'm very, very, very upset about that.
In any case, whoever is president, I always think further his study. Sean, by the way, is my son, and Dione is my son's godmother. I always encourage Sean to go study in Europe, whoever the president is, because classical music is where the source of European music, and they have such a rich history and rich teachers and everything. So I don't even mind him getting an orchestra job there. Yeah.
Well, it's just what I love about Europe is that everybody seems to read. I mean,
you don't know. What do you mean everybody reads?
They read newspapers. They know what is going on in our country more than we do. In 2004, when I was in Berlin, Kreuzberg, and the guy saw, I think, maybe a New York button or whatever. Anyway, he's a Turkish guy. We started to talk to him, and he and I became very involved in the political situation. He said, "What about this Wolfowitz?" Now, the American guy that I was with had no clues what we were talking about. That was Paul Wolfowitz in the World Bank. All I'm saying is, Europe's got a lot to offer. I mean, and I think we would be wise in taking up some of it. But I love this country. I'm disappointed. I'm just so disappointed. Anyway.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I just want to add something. My grandfather is still alive in Europe. Let me tell you. You know, he's not illiterate, but he doesn't read much. All he does is get drunk in the middle of the village. So, you know, there's Europeans who don't like to read. I can tell you that much. Also.
Good one.
So Sean is with us. Thank you, Sean, for being there. We have a little bit more messages from our. Just wanted to acknowledge our audience with us. Julie says, "I'm more than open to having a conversation with Trump supporters. I do all the time. It is sad to me, though, that things turn into a joke or what's that word?
Cruelty.
Cruelty. Yeah. Through I must admit. So then, Trumper for yen. Julie for yen. Oh, Trumper for yen is still there. Hi, Trumper for yen. Hi, Dennis. How are you? So, Joe, the banker, Biden, was. Can you read it? I'm having a hard time reading it.
Yeah.
Instrumental in the bankruptcy bill crafting and implementation. This was a gift to us in finance, allowing us to buy deeper credit risk that equals very difficult for people to file. I believe that's short for bankruptcy. Yeah.
Okay, well, on this, I think the recession, I think it was Bush that took us there, number one. Number two, yeah, there were things in the bankruptcy bill that weren't good. I'll give you that much, Trumper for Yang.
Sure.
And Biden did help.
Yeah.
So Biden is not perfect. It's true. He is with the financial elite. Wall Street would get behind him in a heartbeat, just like they supported Trump, though.
Right.
And mind you, Wall Street and the bankers, they made money under Trump. Some of them even boasted they made more money under Trump than under Obama. So the point is, they control both parties, Trump or for Yang.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't understand. Yeah, like, I mean, Biden, yeah, he probably pushed a lot of bills that were probably imperfect.
Yeah.
But the other thing, you want a president who gets stuff done through bills, not just through executive orders. Unless you're cynical and you believe that any strong government is bad by default. In that case, you want a weak government, you want the least qualified people.
Right.
And I believe there's a word for this. It's called the cacocracy.
Yes.
So you want our nation to be a cacocracy. Is that what you want?
No.
No. And you know the old saying, if you can't beat them, join them. So
I'm going to sign off now because I want to turn on BBC to see how they're reporting for us today. Oh, and one last thing. My parents met on WPA, so I'm a little prejudiced in some directions. It was probably talking to most of you. Please send me any link that talks about how we can help, phone banking and everything else, okay?
Great.
Ching,
I'm sorry, Ching. It's almost 5. I need to sign up too.
Okay.
Sorry.
Bye, Sean. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dione. Good to see you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, Vivia. Good to see you.
Bye. Thank you. So, thank you for coming. And this is a good conversation, I think, right? Dione, you just click on Leave Studio. Dione, you need to click on Leave Studio. I'll remove you. Okay. All
okay.
Right.
Now there were 3. Now.
Yeah. So
yeah, man, the 3 of us
so
again.
she's in the this is her first time doing StreamYard. So Dione, if you hear me, you just click on Leave Studio, okay? If you see that, because she's still in. Oh, all right, now she's off. So anyway, that's a good conversation, right?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, Trumper for Yang, his comments were good too.
Yeah,
definitely.
I appreciate it.
He interacted with us. Yeah,
we're not insulated from hearing about, we can say the good, the bad, and the ugly.
I'm not insulated. I'll talk to anyone. you know.
Exactly, because there's plenty to talk about, and there are important things to talk about. Like, talking about him being the banker, right? I mean, think about the state of Delaware. You want to know why a whole bunch of banks have their headquarters there? Is because they have the most lax laws when it comes to banking.
Right. Yeah.
So there's a lot of financial stuff going on there. You could say some dirty business, malfeasance that's going on there. So that's just the reality of it. I think, given where we are in this country and what needs to happen is, we understand we don't have that same kind of love for Joe Biden that we did for Andrew Yang, but I think what with Joe Biden is the thing, like, it won't be so exciting, but I think that's actually kind of welcomed right now because there's been so much excitement and chaos this past 4 years.
Well, yeah, we feel we need change. Like, we can tolerate a little bit of chaos, but once it's over the top, when you got as we say, the clusterfuck we have right now, with the pandemic, the economy, everything, the shutdowns, it's too much. So yeah, this election will be a referendum on Trump, pretty much, whether the people want to continue with Trump or not. I think that's pretty much the way it's going to go.
I think it's
so it won't be Biden that defeats him. It'll be Corona and the recession. Because, truth be told, if we weren't in a recession, I think Trump probably would beat Biden one-on-one.
Yeah, did you hear that professor who made the prediction of who was going to win? That
Alan Lichtman. I forgot. Yeah,
Lichtman.
So now he says Trump has 7 keys turned against him.
Yeah.
And he says they just need 6 for the incumbent party to lose.
Yeah.
And Trump has 7 right now.
I mean, COVID's definitely part of it, and also the economic downturn, the recession. Those are the 2 that are working against him. If it wasn't for those 2 factors, it would be definitely.
But he left one loophole. There can still be something irregular that happens for this election.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
That's the wild card, right?
That's always the wild card, yeah. You never know.
I'm not going to say trump card. Wild card.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So I'm jumping around, making another Trump for Yang early said that.
You're in Unity 2020. Me too, Trump for Yang. Yeah. Yeah, Brett Weinstein. Yes. Were you there for that campfire event? I think it was on Wednesday night when he had that professor from Austin, Texas, and that Indian mathematician, I think. Were you there, Trump for Yang, for that? Yeah, I thought that was a great discussion, actually.
I wonder if I could check that out. You think that's on YouTube?
You go to Brett Weinstein's channel, actually. Yeah, go there, and it'll be the articles for Unity. I can send you the link, Nick. Actually, yeah,
okay,
but
cool.
it's on his website. Yeah,
I'm gonna look into that because.
Yeah, it was a very good discussion the other night with the 3 of them. Yeah, that was one of the better discussions. Like, I think you would like it if you're into history, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
One of them was a historian with a new book about the managerial elite in this country and how we have to, I guess, taking the democracy back from them or something. Yeah. Yeah, because one of the things you see, like, we can vote for the candidates, but if these higher ups in the parties pick the candidates through the primary process, we don't really have a true choice because we're just picking between 2 people who are very much alike.
Exactly. And I heard that that's what's happening, especially with the Democratic Party. Turns out the strategy is, hey, we got to go more right of center now. They're going to become more like the Republican Party. That's why I don't really get this whole radical left talk, because the Democratic Party is actually moving in the opposite direction, and they're going after what they call like the Biden Republicans. It's just going to become like Republican light, and that's why I understand there's Unity 2020, there's People's Party, trying to create a viable third party. So we have an alternative, and that's what ranked choice voting is so important too. You know what I mean? So it's like
Is it true if Biden wins, there will be no yen 2024?
Some people think that way because they think they have a theory that Biden is not going to go the full 4 years, in which case Kamala Harris would become the president, and then the party would have to get behind her for 2024. Yeah. So some people think that way. And I mean, there is merit to that thought, actually. Biden, they literally had to push him out of retirement to run this time, pretty much. So,
Yeah.
so but the thing is, I think people, they're thinking in the short term. They're not thinking 4 years from now. They're thinking, are we better off now than we were in 2016? And at this moment, for most people, is probably no. A year ago, maybe it would have been yes for most people, in which case probably Trump would have won. But yeah, coronavirus, the shutdown, the economy slowing down, everything. Yeah, I think, people losing their jobs.
Yeah. So I haven't talked to you for a while, especially Peter. What do you think of the first debate?
Ooh, man. Well, I expected Trump to be aggressive. Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
The question was whether Biden would survive or Trump would trample him, because but here's the thing. They set such a low bar for Biden, I don't know, maybe they learned their lesson from setting high bars for Hillary Clinton. God knows what happened. But the bottom line is, and luckily, he didn't start stuttering, on stage and not finishing his sentences. So I think he got through it. To be honest with you, I might sound a little crazy, but I found it a bit entertaining. I mean, I know it was a little over the top. I'm not gonna say it was good entertaining, but I mean, the thing is, it's just entertaining. How often in a debate do you have one candidate tell the other one to shut up, and then it was like, and then the moderator got involved, and then even Trump said, "Oh, I guess I'm debating you now." I mean, I thought it was entertaining. Did we learn anything new? I don't think we did. All the information that came out, we already knew. So Trump went after Biden. Biden didn't self-destruct like a lot of people thought he would. So I think, we didn't gain anything from it. Now, did it sway people who were undecided to vote for one of these guys or make anyone change their vote? I don't think it did much of that either. I think the jury is still out on undecided voters, like, how they're going to vote. But I would wait. They usually make their decisions at the last minute, so it's too early to gauge. They're also looking forward to 2 more debates, so we'll see what happens with that. Yeah.
What do you think, Nick?
I mean, here's the thing. The Commission on Presidential Debates is actually very interesting. If you look into the history, how long it's existed. They have a board of directors. They even have corporate sponsors every 4 years. So it's like it's a vestige from the 20th, the latter part of the 20th century. You know what I mean? I believe it's important to democratize the debate stage. I think there should be more voices. I think that there should be more platforms because there's a new generation of voters. They want to get the information about the candidates and their choices in different ways. It's just so old-fashioned, basically, the way they have it set up. And that's how they can control the voices that we hear on that debate stage. This debate, it was like primetime wrestling. And it's like Donald Trump is at home with that. He used to be with the WWE, WWF part of the storyline. He's really good friends with Vince McMahon. So he it was made for TV type of verbal sparring, more like a boxing match than a true debate. Not really a lot of talk about policy. You know, it was very light on that kind of stuff. It's a lot of back and forth, a lot of bickering. I think as far as optics are concerned, depending on who you talk to and what news network you look at, the poll that they took after the debate, who won? People, like, I saw this at Univision, like Spanish speakers who took part in this poll, they said that Trump won significantly.
Right.
It's just because of what he
Is
said.
that the one where
how
they
much he
said 66% felt that Trump won? Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Was that Univision or Telemundo?
Oh, and maybe Telemundo.
Yeah.
That sounds
That's
right.
the
Yeah,
one.
not Univision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, really?
Wow.
Like, did you watch the same debate I did?
Yeah.
Well, I need to say something on that. Like, I
Sure.
think a lot of people, they mistake kind of bullying and being overly assertive as a sign of strength.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
yeah.
some people have an instinct, they're instinctively drawn to that. They think,
Mhm.
okay. In 2016, this worked for Trump. He did the same strategy with Hillary Clinton in 3 debates.
Mhm.
But I think, yeah, the difference between now and 2016, people need leadership and it has to be competent. Now, you could argue Biden doesn't show much evidence of that, but I gotta tell you, yeah, I think Biden, I think, yeah, he will do better than Trump just because, yeah, he'll listen to people, experts, and I think, yeah, in terms of judgment, some of the things Trump does, it's just to like control narrative. That's what he's good at. But policy wise, I don't know. Like, you know, a lot of the things he said that he wanted to fix, I think a lot of Americans welcomed that.
Yeah.
But what it is, yeah, you can't solve everything through executive order, like, because they get overturned. So you have to pass legislation. And this is probably where Biden would be better. Because even to draft legislation, you have to work with a group of people. It's not something you do on your own. So you know, this is not a monarchy, right? It's
Right.
for people to govern together. So that's what it is, yeah.
I mean, that takes compromise. You have to be able to give
Exactly.
a little to get a little. And Joe
Exactly.
Biden knows how to do that. He knows how to meet in the middle, and he has friends on both sides of the aisle.
Right.
If you're trying to do it and you're pitting it's them against us, everything you say, you're blaming Democrats for your inability to govern. That wears off fast. That wears off
Exactly.
quickly. Like in 2016, he came in as the anti-establishment, you know, choice. It was like, oh wow, this is kind of exciting. I don't want a Clinton dynasty, and I don't really like what happened. And you know, I'm appalled by what happened in Benghazi and all these different things. And he knew what dog whistles to blow. He knew what to say. He hit on valid points. He even talked about GDP in the beginning. He was like, GDP, that doesn't tell us what's really going on. But, you know, he touts GDP after he becomes president, you see.
Right.
He's still, for some people, he has this anti-establishment, you know, vibe and appeal. But even that isn't the same as it was in 2016. You've been president for 4 years. You're establishment now. When you say,
Right.
hey, and you say law and order, Joe Biden, I'm like, you know what I mean? Just say it. Just say it. It's just.
Well, but yeah, the disorder is under your presidency, Trump, right?
Exactly. Saying
So
this is
you're the
Biden's
president.
America.
Biden is not the president. So how do you blame this on Biden?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, so thank you so much, gentlemen. Such a last minute attempt to communicate with you guys and having a nice conversation. And I feel great, you know, so always seeing you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Always a joy.
Yeah.
We all do,
Thanks.
so.
Yeah. And you stay safe, please. With
All right,
mask.
you too.
Mask.
Stay
Of
safe,
course.
everyone.
We'll stay safe, Ching.
Yep.
Matt will not harm me. Don't you
Yeah.
worry.
Until next time. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Okay. Until next time. Good night.
All right. Bye.
Right.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, people, for
Bye,
watching.
guys. Yes.
Bye.